Hey, this is Horner, and this is a pendulum. So what in the world are we looking at a pendulum for? Well, we're going to do some things not with circular motion, even though this does follow a circular path. So if you think about it, this is swinging and it would make a circle. So I could just keep going around and make a circle. But we're not going to worry about that. Instead, we're going to look at the energy that this thing has, and we can determine the speed for this thing and some other things too. So let's do this starting talking about energy. So right off the bat, we're going to say that we always look at the center of this because we're going to think about the center of mass. And so the center of this would give me, this is my maximum height. So we'll say that this is my H max. So this is where it's at the highest. And then down here, right in the center, we're going to draw a line out, and this is my height, and this is my minimum height. So the question is, how do I find out how far this is? Well, to do that, I'm going to use some trig. So that makes it a lot easier to do. So we're going to say that this is L, and then what we're going to do is we're going to draw a line that goes straight across from here to here. And so we know the length of the string. This is also the length of the string, but I really just want to find this little part right here. So I know that this is L, and if I want to find this little part right here, so the whole thing would be L, what is this then? So what is this section here, and then what is the height? So I want this little height thing right here. To do that, I'm going to go ahead and put an angle in. So let's say that this is, I don't know, let's say it's 37 degrees. That'll make it easy. So now we can think about the different parts of this, guess we could call this a triangle, right? And it is a right triangle. And since we have a right triangle, this side from here to here, and maybe we'll put it in green. So we're going to measure this right here. This is going to be the cosine side, right? So this would be L times the cosine of 37 from this point down to this point. So if I really want to know how far I'm going from here down to here, okay, so if I want to know this distance, then I can just say it's the length minus this little length here. And so one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of this L here. That L is the same as this L, so we really don't need it. Instead, what we'll do is we'll say, whoa, I don't know what I did. This whole thing is big L. So if I want just a little part, you can see all I have to do is just take big L minus L times the cosine of the angle. Because this is the cosine, here's my whole length. So if I take the whole thing minus this, I'm going to get the height. So I know about how high it is. Let's just say that the length here is 1.3 meters. So let's actually solve for this height. And so we're going to say this is also equal to h max minus h min, or it's just the delta y. It's how far this ball has fallen. Let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to say, I want to know what is delta y. And delta y is equal to the length minus the length times the cosine of the angle. Our length here is 1.3 meters minus 1.3 meters times the cosine of 37. You can't just subtract the two 1.3s. That'd be a huge problem. So instead, I'm going to take 1.3 and I'm going to subtract 1.3 times the cosine of 37. You always want to make sure you are in degrees. And I end up with a delta y of 0.26 meters. So that's how far it falls. Okay, so now I know how far it falls. Well, can I find out how much potential energy it loses or how much kinetic energy it gains? So right here, I know that this is mgh, okay, or mg delta y. And down at the bottom, this point right here is when I have my maximum kinetic energy. So my kinetic energy here is equal to 1/2 mv squared. So I can actually figure out how fast it's moving here. So at height max, I know I have mg delta y, and that's the potential energy due to gravity for the pendulum. So let's go ahead and do some things here. Let's call the mass of the pendulum, we'll just say it's equal to 0.56 kilograms. Now let's go ahead and find the speed of the ball down at the bottom. So if I want to know the speed, I'm going to think about, maybe let's do an LOL graph. So LOL, I've got the ball, I have the string, and I have the earth. Without the string, the ball wouldn't follow this path. So we have the ball, the string, and the earth. And we know that we have all potential energy due to gravity at the very beginning. We don't have any kinetic. And we're going to go to kinetic in the after part because it's not going to go any lower than this. Oops, so I didn't want UG there. I think what I really wanted here was kinetic energy. So let's go ahead and draw the kinetic energy. There we go. So I know I'm going from UG, and that should be equal to the kinetic energy. So UG is mg delta y. So that was our height times gravity times the acceleration due to gravity times the mass, and that's equal to 1/2 mv squared. But what's cool is the mass doesn't matter, so we can cross it off. Now at this point, we can just take gravity, which is 10, times delta y, which we know is 0.26. Then we're going to multiply that times 2 because we're trying to get rid of this. So it's 2 times 10 times 0.26, and that's equal to v. But there's a square there, so I want to take the square root of both sides. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides, and square root of v squared gives me v. So now I'm going to do 2 times 10 times 0.26, and I'm going to take the square root of that number, and when I'm done, I get 2.28. So our velocity here is equal to 2.28 meters per second. And that's how you find the speed of this bob down at the bottom. We're using conservation of energy, so that's what we did here. And then we're just solving for the velocity, and we didn't need the mass. So it would not matter what the mass is. The only thing that would matter then is what the tension is inside if we were trying to think about forces. So that is basically what you need to know for pendulums and energy.